What's good? It's your boy Herb Tutter, man. Welcome back to the show, The Transition. This segment, I'm talking about regrets. A lot of times people have had regrets in their life that have made some people take their lives. Some people go away from their family members, disappear, and all of that good stuff. And as people, we have this idea and notion that people can't change. So their regrets can't be moved from it being negative to a positive, and they learn and they become adults. But it's kind of funny how certain other people have done certain things themselves to where they have had that chance to redeem themselves. And, you know, uh, we're just such a society now that has this idea that we're the only ones that supposed to get that second chance. So for me being one of the big homies, to a lot of the younger homies, I always say what my regrets are and the certain things that I've done in life so everybody can be okay with everything that they've done. You know what I'm saying? Now, my first regret was not finishing college and getting a degree in art. You know, I do a lot when it comes to the art. I'm not just a rapper, singer, actor, dancer, or any of that. When I went to school, I was going to school for broadcasting and I was going to school for art itself. I sketch and I paint. My mother and father wanted me to finish and get my degree in that, and that's one of my regrets because I know that my parents wanted me to do that. With me not being able to do that was a little frustrating because I love to have done that for my parents and made sure that that was cool. Now, don't get me wrong, my parents are happy with where I'm at right now because I'm a heavy grinder. No matter what I do, I'm gonna try to be the best at it. I'm homicidally competitive, so I want to be one of the best that's ever did it or ever came about. So that was my first one. My second one was going into music and spending the time that I spent trying to get my mother and father's house paid off and generational wealth for my kids with music that just didn't come the way that I wanted it to with the group. My older kids felt like I chose music over them, but until you are the one that has to put the food on the table, keep the roof over your head, and you kind of got to be selfless in order to do it, you'll never understand it. And then back then, it wasn't done the way that I remember. My parents, my father remained my father, and my mother remained my mother. My uncle was my uncle, and my aunt was my aunt. Kids couldn't get into a conversation of adults. So to me, for the millennials slash Z's, they got a chance to sit in adult seats way too early, and I think that a lot of mothers have a problem with allowing kids to sit at the table with adults that they don't have money to sit at that table yet, and they shouldn't be thrusted in these positions to try to be the men of the house or the women of the house if they haven't figured out how to be the kids yet. So to me, that was something that was kind of frustrating for me because nobody really understands how much I did to actually keep this situation going for my kids, and everybody's just kind of taking they're taking all of the credit but not really passing the credit over to the person that did it. The third resentment was not putting myself in a position to end a few relationships that should have been ended, and that's family and romantically. I've been told that I've always been that person that wants people to like me, but I'm always trying to find a good ending. And sometimes it's just not going to be a good ending, and a lot of times I laid on the floor and I allow people to be that person over me to where they could wipe their feet on me. So I'm going to be a doormat and I'm going to allow you to wipe your feet on me. And sometimes I let those relationships go on way too long before it was time to, end them. Now, for me, I'm in a better place now because my team is where it's supposed to be. I can be me. and I can do some of the things that I'm supposed to do. But Harvey Albanga, God rest his soul, told me, he was like, what people don't realize is that you are selfless. You kept a lot of stuff moving and going. You were the CEO slash CFO of the group, and you kept a lot of stuff, the bills right. You kept all of the records right. You kept, you were the first person on the stage. You did all of that stuff and kind of the front man. And, when there was a problem, you didn't out anybody, But here's the thing, I grew up under the code of silence and secrecy. So you can't talk about in-house stuff and run your personal business out. Whereas now social media is all about, you know, chaos, talking about stuff that people shouldn't know about, and outing your mother or your father or people that took care of you from the beginning. That, like for me, I say this 100% now. I live by this code and this creed. If you ain't putting no money on my bills, then I don't really care what you're saying. And I don't care what the relationship is anymore, because I'm not going to be the doormat for anybody. But my regrets is that I allow people to treat me a certain way. And I always tell people, you teach people how to treat you. And for me, I want people to understand that I taught people before that it was okay to judge me, and they haven't done much of anything right now. So whether it's my kids, significant others that's in the past, or anything, until you've walked in my shoes and actually took care of not just the kids, me as well, well past a good relationship into a bad one, I can't hear you until you've done that. You know what I'm saying? So regrets, I'm telling everybody, we all have regrets. We all have some things that we probably shouldn't have done, or we should have done, but in this day and age, you have so many people taking their lives because we're not allowing people to move on and not be the person that they were years ago. Is that it's time for you to evaluate your life, figure out if these people should be in your life or not. And if they shouldn't, you got to get rid of them, because it's toxic. It's like this virus right now. You got to get rid of this situation, quarantine yourself from these people, and make sure that they understand that you're not going to be their doormat. If they don't get down with you, then you have to ask yourself, was they real? No matter what the relationship is, your children, your parents, your family, your significant other. If they don't value you the way you value them, you got to ask yourself, should they be in your life? Real talk. It's your boy Herb Dot, man. Listen, again, do something for somebody else. Trust me, to give you a chance to figure out where you're supposed to be. This is the transition. Follow your boy, man. I got another one coming real soon. Holla at me.